Hey again, YouTubers. So today we're going to be doing a get ready with me, and I'm going to be showing you how I go from this to this. Just stay tuned. All right, so let's jump right in. First thing, I take my little hair clips. I already curled my hair today. Just pull my hair back and out of my face. This one's sitting funny. So much to chat about. All right, first thing is my neck is always a little bit darker than my face because of all the skincare, Retin-A's, Obagi, all those things I use. So I had heard about this trick in September and I started doing this. And this is by, you can use any brand, but this one is by Westmore Beauty, and it is the Lasting Effects Illuminating Camouflage in the color Radiance. This is what it looks like. And I actually take a little bit of this. You don't need much of it, like that little bit right there. And I put this on my face before I do anything else. And you could see the difference between the color of my face and then adding this. Now I've already done all my skincare. I work it up into the hairline. And many a days I've just gone out like this. I mean, look at the difference in that. Like, it makes my face match my neck. I do bring it down just a little bit, just to be sure, make sure I get the inner corners and all of that, but it has made such a difference. And I typically do that right after I'm done my skincare, and I kind of let it sit in a little bit. The next thing that I do is I take a setting spray. Yes, you heard me right. I take a setting spray. I have 3 of them that I'm interchanging in right now, and I spray my face. And this one is the Lime Life Time Setter Makeup Primer. This is the 16-hour one, like the mattifying one. And I love this one. It's super fine mist, and it just feels so good on the skin. This one is made by Scandinavia, same as like the Urban Decay and a lot of those others too. Then on my lips, I take the Algenist. It is the Genius Lip Collagen. I take 1 turn, and I rub this, and I go up into the lines of my lip above like where my actual lip is, because it helps to plump up and fill in those fine lines. And I just go around until I work it in. So lots to chat about today while we're getting ready. First thing, I use the Lime Life. This is a concealer number 0. This is concealer number 2. I take number 2 and I put it on my lids. Oh, I forgot something. Hold on, so let me just put this on my lids and then we'll go back. So lots to talk about now today. First thing, figure I'll mention is the fact that, as you guys have noticed, I have changed up my editing style. I have a newfound love and obsession for editing. All right, so I'm gonna take the Tatcha Pearl, the little egg thing, the like pearl illuminator or something, and I just use what's on the lid, and I touch it, and I do 2 little dots. I mean, this stuff is gonna last you forever, and just whatever is left, I just put on that outer corner there. Close it up nice and good. And then I just tap it in until it's all the way in. And this takes a little while to absorb in, but if you just keep going back and forth, it will absorb in. So I have a newfound love for editing. I am obsessed with it. I think it's so fun. I will say that I will take note that not a lot, I would say there's probably I've had about 5 or 6 comments that how I've been kind of doing like the zoom in and zoom out is a little bit too much. Like I do it too often. Note taken. So I am going to lessen that up and maybe only do it like once or twice in a video. I just thought it added for like a cool element, but I get it after I watched some of them back, because people were like, it's a little bit much and kind of makes me feel a little bit like seasick, kind of going back and forth. I was like, good point. So I totally get it. So I will lessen that 100%, but I have a newfound love for editing. Like, it used to be my favorite part was actually sitting down and taping it. Now my favorite part is editing it. So typically after I do the bottom, then I take the number 2 and put it on the top. So then the next thing I'm going to do, because I let this sit for a second, because this under eye Tatcha is super emollient. So then I take number 0 and number 2, and I just put my finger in it and put my finger in it. And then I just tap that over top of that Tatcha and give myself, now I don't go all the way up under the lash line, but I do go into the inner corner and I do go to the outer corner. And then whatever left, I take into that little area around my nose. Same thing on the other side. So yes, so I am loving editing, but I totally get your points. I am loving and totally back into my channel now and enjoying so much of it. Just working on like more style options and more like finding your own style and finding your own style confidence and just finding what works for you and things that you're going to love and that I'm going to love. And I'm just finding it so fun again. So I'm taking the Lime Life foundation. I still have it in olive number 3. Yes, olive. And I have a damp beauty blender and I just roll it in, get some on there. And I don't need much of it. Part of it because of that camouflage that I used. Part of it just because this foundation, you do not need much of this at all. So I just go back and forth, and I also bring it up and around my eyes when I'm at the end of one side, just to kind of blend everything in. So let's see here. So working on videos, I would love to hear if you guys have any videos that you want to see, like any items you want to see me style or like how I do things, any ideas for Tip Tuesdays. I also thought of doing, and then I just do one kind of bringing it down my neck to make sure there's no harsh lines. I thought of also doing a try it out Tuesday. So sometimes it'll be Tip Tuesday, sometimes it'll be try it out Tuesday when I test new products, maybe something that I got in. What do you guys think of that? I thought that would be a different idea. And then I just take it onto my ears just a little bit and make sure I go into my hairline with whatever is left on the sponge. But I mean, the coverage on this is just amazing. I'm obsessed with it. All right, the next thing I tend to do is I take my Bobbi Brown Long Wear Cream Shadow Stick in the color Taupe. And I go right here and right here. And then I just take, and it's like a, what is this? It's a Sedona Lace EB13. I don't even know if they make this anymore. And I just blend it back and forth. I do not go down onto my lid. So yes, so my channel has been changing. I get that. Some people like it, some people don't. I would say I did a poll on Instagram and it was like 90% love the change and like 10% didn't like it. And I get it. It's not for everybody, but you got to remember as I change what I love, it kind of, my channel changes with that because I can't do videos like I used to do beauty reviews all the time. Like that was all I did. And if you remember that, I'm sure. And actually, this is really cool. For when I do Get Ready With Me's, I got a new backdrop and it's a brick wall. I thought that would be cool, kind of bringing it back to the old ways. My brows. I've totally changed up my way of doing my brows. This is a Sephora Pro 20. It's like, it has a brow brush and then a like angled brush. And I just go through and brush through them first, just a little bit. And then I also take a Q-tip just because I got that foundation on my eyes and I just kind of go through and wipe them off because it gets rid of any excess product before I'm going to do my brows. Because my brows are microbladed. If you were not yet aware of that, my brows are microbladed. And then I'll show you my new way of doing my brows. I take the Lime Life spray and I do one spray into the cap. I take that brush and I dip it in. And then I kind of wipe it off on the back of my hand so that I don't have, you can see from yesterday, like even though I wiped this off, I just don't want a lot of water on it. Then I take the Lime Life shadow and I'll have to find out from Christina the names of these. I use this one and I dip my brush into it. And if you can see, I go right in this corner all the time. I stay in the same corner, tap it off, and then I go through and fill in my brows. And I'm obsessed with this. Like the color, just everything. And I don't get my brush wet again unless I feel like the color is not sticking to the brush. But this just gives me, and I'll show you one other product I've been using. I feel like my brows have just been looking that much better and that like not so drawn in, more like, see now if I need more water, I go onto my hand, by the way, versus going back into that because I don't want to saturate the brush. So yeah, I've really been enjoying this way of doing my brows. And I know so many of you have tried these Lime Life products. If you have, let me know what you've tried and what you love, because maybe you guys are trying colors or things that you think I need to try, because I am obsessed with this brand right now. I mean, it's been like 3 months of obsession with it. This isn't like a spur of the moment, like just changing. Like, I mean, I have not stopped with these in a while. So I just go back and forth and kind of, you know, what's that saying? Your eyebrows aren't twins, they're sisters. I used to always say mine were distant cousins because mine were a wreck before I had them microbladed. Now I love them. So people do ask me too, when you had your brows microbladed, why is it that you still fill them in? Well, two things. One, because of the fact that my brows, no matter what, because the tattoo, any tattoo on me pulls more gray toned. And a lot of that is the skincare I use. You got to remember, I use a lot of retinols and things like that, which can pull down the color of it. Then I'm using, this is a new product. This is from Lime Life, and it is called the Strike It Rich Brow Gel. I have this in the color light. I do have a clear one too, but I've been using the light one. And this has fibers in it. And I just go actually against, kind of backwards against the hair versus going with it. And it fluffs them up a little bit and it makes them look, oh, touchdown. It makes them just look more realistic. You know what I mean? Because a lot of this is not. Because remember, you know, we've got tattoo, we've got color, we've got a little bit of everything. But I really am enjoying this, and it really helps keep them in place all day. It keeps the color intact. I love it. All right, going on to the next part, I then tend to go to eyes, and I am going to take that same color you saw me use on my brows. I'm now using with a Sephora Pro 19. I'm just tapping in, tapping it off, and then I'm going right where I put that Bobbi Brown. And this look that I'm going to show you is what I have been doing pretty much every day. When you guys are seeing me on Instagram and you're asking what I'm doing, this is it. And I have been loving it. It's just such an easy look. And I go up much higher than staying low. I go up into my brow bone. And I just go back and forth. And I'm not being super neat on the sides. Oh, and this thing, I talked about it in my haul video. Have you guys ever seen the color switch? I keep this on my vanity, and in between, it gives your brush just like, it gets rid of any excess product that's in there. And I love that thing. All right, then I take this Lime Life brush, and it is number 20. Doesn't have a name. It's a little brush. And I go into this highlight color here. And I just tap it down, and I'm just going right, like super, super, super close to my brow bone. And then I put a little bit in that inner corner right there. Not a lot. I cannot do a lot in that inner corner. If I do too much, I look like a grease ball, and I have no idea why. It just looks like odd on me. You know, to each your own. So yeah, so I have really been enjoying it. So now I'm taking a Sephora Pro 15 and this color. Some people were mentioning as well, I'm just kind of chatting with you guys with things people are mentioning. I'm going to use my mirror. People were mentioning to me that they felt like because I was editing so much, it wasn't as like chit-chatty as what I typically am. And I will say is a couple things. Is one, I find that when I do the Tip Tuesday videos, because I'm trying to keep them 5 minutes or under, and I do edit it out to keep it 5 minutes or under, it isn't as chit-chatty. I get that. It totally isn't. But that type of video, whoops, mirror just fell. That type of video doesn't work as a chit-chat video. But my get ready with me is things like that might be a little bit more chatty type of videos. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take an IT Cosmetics. It's an angled brush. It's very similar to that Sephora one that you just saw me talking about. I'm taking a different shadow color. I'll try and list the shadow colors down below. This is a super, 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 super espresso dark brown. Going into that lid again, that setting spray, and I'm wetting the brush again. You can see it there in my hand. I'm doing the same thing. I'm just going into a top corner right here, and I'm going to use this as my eyeliner. The fact that it's a brown makes it look softer, plus the fact that it is wet helps it to stay and makes it a little bit richer. And I just tap it down, and I go all the way in. If you don't want to go all the way in, you don't have to. I feel like this has also been making my lashes look way thicker because people have been asking. I go a little bit higher and thicker in the center, right over where the pupil of my eye is. Now look at the difference between those two right there. You can see the difference already. So now this, I do dip it back into that setting spray because this, I do want it to be a little bit darker and really deep colored. Again, going in on this side. So let's talk TV. I am obsessed, guys, with this new American Horror Story. This one, I've always liked them, but oh my gosh, I love how they're integrating all of them in together. It is so, so, so good. Loving it. Let's see, what other, there's so many good TV shows right now, I feel like. It's crazy. Like 911's a really good one I've been liking. Manifest. We've been watching Manifest, Marty and I. That's really good. I've heard that new Julia Roberts one is really, really good. I don't even remember what it's called. Now this I wipe off on a cloth because I really want to get any of that wet product off of it. I want to dry the brush before I'm sticking it back in my brush roll. So then the next thing I'm going to take is the concealer in number 3. You don't need this many. This is just what works with my skin tone. You just, again, touch your finger down, and I'm just going right under the eye, and this cleans up that outer corner. So anything that didn't go in the right spot, it cleans it up. I don't take it all the way into that inner corner because remember I put a highlight there. But there's the difference between those two eyes right there. Same thing on the other side. And I will say, that Strivectin that I have been using and loving, I ordered a backup of it. That stuff, guys, has been really helping around my eyes too. It's just so nice. I do take this around whatever's left on my finger down around the edge of my nose as well. I just always find that that is where I lose any foundation or things like that first. I am going to take this, what is this? It's a Beauty Junkies brush. Oh yeah, this came in a set. And I'm going to use the setting powder. Their setting powder is awesome. And I just tap it under my eyes. Okay, so I'm not like rubbing it back and forth. I'm just dabbing it in to set under the eyes. And then I bring it, same spots. Then I'm going to take a Marc Jacobs brush. This has worn off the number on it. It's like the flat brush. And I'm going in that powder and I'm going to set everything. You can do this right after you do the foundation. I personally like for the foundation to sit a little bit before I set it. I find that it kind of melts into my skin better and it just stays better throughout the day if I wait and set it after. Don't know if that's true or not. Christina can tell us, but that is what works for me. And again, I'm not buffing it in. I'm just tapping it on. So some sort of flat brush is really, really good for that. Then I'm going to go in and do my bronzer. I have the matte bronzer and the more shiny one, it's called the Perfect Bronzer, I think it's called. That's this one here. I do like this one. I'll show you what I do with it. I have 2 of these because one color is too light and one color is too dark. So I actually hold them together this way. And then I take, this is a Sedona Lace FB01, and I kind of go into both of them, tap it off, and then I'm going to go and do my contour kind of. I'm not doing a real defined contour. I'm just going to get myself a little bit of definition, and then I go on my forehead and I bring it down into that side one. Sorry if you hear can you hear the dogs down there drinking water? And I go under my chin. Give me a little bit of definition here as well. Okay. And then, oops, sorry, I gotta put those away. And then I go in with the Perfect Bronzer. Again, you don't need to do all these steps. I just have it, so I like to play with it. And then I take, this is a Sedona Lace too, 376. And I just buff it all in, back and forth a little bit. I don't put a lot of that one on, okay? Then the last part is I take, for the face, I take a Sephora Pro 54, and I actually go into that highlighter that's right up there. I just tap it in once, and I just bring it right to here. I stop right here. I can't go too far with the highlighter. If I come too far in, it makes me look very, drawn in and kind of greasy. Then I take an IT Cosmetics Heavenly something blush brush, and I go back and forth between these 2 colors. So I kind of go like this, tap it off, and then I just go right here. Again, I don't go too far. And I have a video that I just put up about how to apply blush the best way. And so it's kind of more in detail of what I'm doing here. It's a little bit more information. All right, so let's see here. Lips are next. I have not been doing a lip liner. I have been using this lipstick, and you guys have been asking me about it, and I'm gonna buy a backup. It's that good. It is the color Plum, and it is gorgeous. It is a sheer lipstick that you can build up. So you can do one coat and it's just super lightweight, and then you can do 2 coats and it gets a little bit darker, and 3 coats is even darker. I don't know if it's the Algenist is the reason why I don't need a lip liner. I don't know if it's the Strivectin. I don't know if it's this lipstick, but I have not been needing lip liner. I just start at the point and work my way down on this side, and then I start on the outside and work my way up here. This side of my lip has always gone down more so than this side. You can notice it in photos sometimes or in videos, and like just no matter what, something about that. So I do try to go from the bottom up on this side, but I will put it on and just, it's hard to talk while you're putting it on. Then on the bottom, I kind of start in the outside corner and work my way in. As you can see, this is one coat, and you can go on and do a second, just evening out those lines. Then on the bottom lip, same thing. You can turn that lipstick so that it sits properly, but you can see the difference in color just with that. Now, I will say the last thing I do is mascara. So I go back in with my setting spray again. Part of the reason why this one is my favorite is it is such a fine mist. I find that the peach one from Too Faced and the Cinema Secrets one are really nice, but I find that they're a little bit heavier and they tend to kind of like set in spots a little bit more so. I don't know. So mascara, I have been using my Surratt lash curler, which is what I always use. And I will show you what I have been doing. I go on one side and I clamp it in and I just kind of bounce it, I guess, like 3 times. And then I hold it for give or take about 10 seconds. All right. And then I'm going to go in, and I think they might have discontinued this. It is the Chanel, and it was like their mascara base in a square one. Does anyone know this for sure? I can't find it online anywhere. I do like the Lancome Sills Booster is another option, and I think I'm going to have to go to that one. But after I've done that, I go through and I just work from my base of my lashes up. This one's getting towards the end. That's why I was looking for another one, but you know, that's a bummer. So then I do the same thing on the other side. As another note, if you prefer more like chatty style things, someone mentioned this and it's a good point. If you want to watch me being a little bit more chatty or a little bit more like everyday, Instagram is a great place for that, or Facebook. I guess I should do this side, sorry. Or Facebook, because you can see me unedited there, because that's where I'm just on stories. I'm just every day. I'm just like chatting about something. And I show you guys like unboxings and stuff like that. So if that's more your speed, maybe that's a better choice. But I hope you guys are enjoying like the new editing and all of that as much as I have. I think it really shows how much I'm enjoying it now. So I'm taking that lash curler again after I've put that base on, and I'm just bouncing it 3 times and like holding it for a couple seconds again. I have been using the Lime Life mascara. It is a fiber mascara, but it's not, I've tried a lot of fiber mascaras and a lot of them are like, they flake and I get those little fibers in my eyes and they drive me crazy. And I hate fiber mascaras that like flake or that end up transferring up to your lash line, or you get those little pieces throughout the day, like the little dots. That drives me insane. This does not do that. And my lashes do hit my brow bone. I use that. A lot of people ask me, like, look at the difference in that. A lot of people ask me what I use on my lashes. I use that, what's it called? Revitalash. I get it through Brianna Stanko's site. I've been using it for a while. I love it. I have a video about like the difference between Latisse and Revitalash. I'll try and link that here somewhere, but it's definitely worked for me after all that I've done to my lashes with lash extensions and tints and lifts and all that good fun crazy stuff. I mean, I've done it all to my lashes, guys. And so I just keep kind of working this back and forth until my lashes are separate enough and look the way I want them to. This eye is my trouble eye. I always have more trouble with this eye. Oh, and a lot of people have been asking me, my allergies are typically at this time of year pretty bad. And typically my eyes are very red. And I have a new tip that has been reducing my eyes. They're not as red. I will say towards the end, I do take that brush that I use under my eyes and I just kind of clean up if there's anything under there. That helps anything from settling. I do have one fine line under both of my eyes, really close to under my eyes, that nothing is gonna help get rid of that, and stuff does settle there. So I do that. And then my lip gloss, I love this lip gloss. It's in the color Peace. It's my favorite one I've tried so far. And I just put a little bit right in the center and then work it out. And that is everything. So I've really been enjoying this look, and this is what I've been doing. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you are not yet subscribed to me, I would love if you would click the button down below and subscribe. And if you have any video ideas like we were talking about, definitely let me know. If there's something you want to see how to style, like I did my faux leather leggings one that a lot of people liked. Somebody had suggested over the knee boots going into the winter. I can do that. If there's just an item that you're like, how do I wear this? Let me know. Maybe I could do a video about it. If there's something that you have seen me do that you wonder, like, how are my eyes so white right now? A Tip Tuesday I could do or a Try It Out Tuesday. If you've seen in a haul video a product that you want to see how I use, that would be a good idea too. So thank you as always, guys, for sticking with me, and have a great day. Bye.